So the fact is, preaching unity in diversity, in the midst of the reality as it affects the nation, is going to be nothing but hypocrisy. And let me affirm my stand today. My stand generally is, if Nigeria cannot do the right thing, then everybody should go his own way, just like Brimo said. And what is the right thing? The right thing is a Nigerian that respect and accommodate everybody irrespective of the differences. But at the end of the day, if that cannot be done, you are just going to succeed in making other people victims in the hands of other people that believes their ideology is superior, supreme, and should be respected. Most especially talking about the North. And that is why you have the introduction of political Sharia.
Igbo never na-ege kocha aka gị, gocha ntị gị, hichaa anya gị, gote bottle of water, dosa n'ihu gị ebe ọ bụla for this video. Relax ya, listen to with your mind, listen with your with your eyes open to understand. Use your understanding. Ka ịghọta ihe na-ekwu na this video.
At this point in time, what I have to tell you is the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be incarcerated for life at all. It will not happen. And why do I say it will not happen? It will not happen simply because this is not a call for people that are advocating for his release or whatever to go to sleep. What I'm actually saying is the fact that whatever it is that you have been doing, monetarily wise, educationally wise, you should put in more to that. And at the end of the day, that will be achieved. And secondly, the globe is paying attention. The world is paying attention to whatever is happening now. And they are interested in that. And if I must tell you sincerely, the world has never changed. Just like you used to hear of war here and there, the Ottoman Empire and the whatever, it has not changed. It's the same ideology. And as far as I'm concerned, it's three ideologies that rules the world. It's either you have the Arabian influence, the Western and the European influence, or you have the Asian influence. And in that regards, now funny enough, in Africa, we have a mix of all that virtually in all countries, or virtually almost all the countries in the Sahel. And that is why when you look at the dynamics as it's playing out now, you will get to see that what is happening or what has happened in Niger, Mali, Chad, Burkina Faso, and whatever is the same thing that is happening in Nigeria. Ideological concept divisions, religious ideological concept divisions. Not as if the Arabian influence or the Arabian culture is actually bad, but over time, that has been adulterated and has resulted into religious fanaticism. Talking about Islamic religious fanaticism. And that is what has spoiled it. And that is what you're having now. I want people to be good students of documentary and history, actually. You will get to see that what has happened in Chad, Mali, Libya, or whatever is the same replication of what is happening in Nigeria. And if I must recommend something to you, just go online and search about Dogon people in Mali. When you search about Dogon people in Mali, you get to see that there's a kind of militias that were formed to protect their territory or whatever. The same story that is happening in Nigeria is the same reason why these people are standing and trying to defend their own land. Do you get it? And having said that, let's look at it now. The fact is, we must give this to Bala Blue. Though the fact is, I'm not an advocate of Bala Blue, but the fact is, I think Bala Blue, we must give it to him. He's a liberal person. His policies or whatever will not speak that, but the fact is, he's ideologically inclined in the sense that live and let's live. That is the ideology of a Yoruba man. Do you get it? And I want to put it to you that I'm not campaigning for him actually, or he's the best or whatever. But what I'm just trying to say is, for the first time in history at least, we're having somebody that is ready to take the radical trajectory. And that is why, if I must deviate, this next election is very interesting. Interesting in the sense that for the first time in history, the northern key players actually have no card to play. because the division is actually growing bigger day by day. People are beginning to see now this is what the North stands for, and this is what the East stands for, and this is what the West stands for. Do you get it? Just like you quite agree with me that no president will want to become a president of a nation just to have his name being rubbished. Do you get it? But the Nigeria situation is more or less like pouring water in a basket. No matter your policies, no matter your interventions. He came with some wonderful policies, actually thinking that would translate to development, but he is shocked to realize that that is not what is actually desired. Why? Because we are divided ideologically. And the fact is, I will actually love a situation where he's actually looking into that, not even love a situation. But the fact is, let's not deceive ourselves with the concept of one Nigeria where one is bad politicians, is bad governance that is responsible for all these things. The fact is, we are divided as an entity. We are not united. Ideologies is actually informing how we behave and how we prioritize things. And to some certain extent, take it or leave it, we must give it to this man. His policies are not good, but the fact is, with the pardon of Igboho and the rest of it, tell me why. So let's just leave it. What I'm trying to say is, sincerely, at this point in time, is to your old tent, a bit to your old tent, O Israel, a bit whatever as they put it. It's all man for himself. That's why I say, my guy, now you go sharpen, and a lot of all these variables. So the fact is, preaching unity in diversity, in the midst of the reality as it affects the nation, is going to be nothing but hypocrisy. And let me affirm my stand today. My stand generally is, if Nigeria cannot do the right thing, then everybody should go his own way, just like Brimo said. And what is the right thing? The right thing is a Nigerian that respect and accommodate everybody irrespective of the differences. But at the end of the day, if that cannot done, you are just going to succeed in making other people victims in the hands of other people that believes their ideology is superior, supreme, and should be respected. Most especially talking about the North. And that is why you have the introduction of political Sharia. And when you look at this now, when I hear people talking about, oh, we don't want to turn to Libya, we don't want to turn to Mali, when the US was intervening and a lot of other countries was intervening, I begin to ask myself, do these people actually know the history of these people and why they were attacked and why a lot of all these things were done? If you're a good student of history and you're a good student of documentary, you understand that even the fall of Gaddafi can be traced back to even the 1960s, not 2000. The fall of all these other empires or whatever can be traced to a very long time as a result of what? Radicalization. Radical Islamic concepts. And that is what they are actually trying to establish with all these Fulani headers or whatever. Take it or leave it. Look at it now. Look at the whole of the Sahels. The whole of the Sahels is bedeviled with all these things. Whole of the Sahels, no exclusion. The whole of the Sahels is bedeviled with all these things. But when it comes to Nigeria now, we have succeeded in giving them funny names, like bandits or whatever. But the ideology remains the same. Nothing has changed. But the fact is, just like I keep saying, it's either live and let's live, or everybody goes on his own to build his territory and establish his kingdom according to his ideologies. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, generally speaking, is either we live as one or we perish divided. And that is going to be my ideology in life. Do the right thing. But the fact is, in regards to doing the right thing, is how can you even do the right thing when people are divided ideologically? You can't do the right thing. Because the right thing now, in the midst of economic developments and giant strides or whatever, should be perceived as the right thing to everybody, right? But in the presence of ideologies that rules the world, what is right is bad. What is right is bad. What is right to this person is bad to this person. So I'm progressive in nature, and I want this to be in record. That I'm telling you, sorry, I forgot to say, this election is going to be the most interesting one. The most interesting one in the sense that for the first time in history, the kingmakers, as perceived, as believed, have no card to play. And in so doing now, take it or leave it. Let me put it to you. Let me say this to you. It's not a palatable thing, but we have to say it in the midst of it's saying the truth. There is no entity, no person that can defeat Bala Blue at the moment. There is none. And the fact is, if it's not defeated, it's going to turn into a kind of ideological concept fight. And when it turns into ideological concept fight now, that is when the fate of Nigeria will be established. We will now know who is who and where is where.